What's going on, everybody? In today's video, it's a super exciting one. It's gonna help out almost every single one of you. If you have a goal in life, this video will help you, okay? No matter what your goal is. It could be in fitness, it could be work, it could be because you have your own business. Whatever you're trying to shoot for, this video will help you. We're not even gonna do an intro, we're gonna go straight into it. No intro, introduction, or nothing like that. We're just gonna jump right into the video, so let's go. Or actually, let's go.
It baffles me how many people think that they're bigger than they actually are. I hear people say like, well, how do I get into New York Times? Or how do I get that meeting with that CEO? And oftentimes I just say, one is better than zero. The steps it takes to actually get to the biggest places in the world. Before you get a meeting with, Zucks or Cuban or Barry Diller or whoever you're trying to have a meeting with in the business world, well, you've got to have a lot of little meetings to build up your cadence. People are always like, man, you've been on Conan and Ellen and the Today Show and CNN and Fox. Like, how do I get that? And I'm like, well, I also did 1,000 interviews, it feels like, on videos that got 1 or 19 or 137 views.
Like, my PR people and all my managers and handlers are really pissed at me because they're like, why are you spending 15 minutes doing these blogs that have 6 readers, every single day, and you're passing on the stuff that we're giving you to be on CNN or New York Times?
I still, even today, am as happy and sometimes even more excited to be on a podcast or a video blog that's only going to reach 100 people, because I'm always about depth versus width.
Do you want to go wide or do you want to go deep? I want to go deeper with my community. I want to give back to people that were fans of me.
And so even today, where I have more leverage than I did 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years ago to get bigger platforms, I still live under the motto of one is better than zero. To me, doing these interviews is a process of the work that so many people are impatient and not willing to do. Are you willing to take 10 minutes to get 195 views? I am. I don't know who you think you are. You've not gotten the exposure yet. When you have not made your name just yet. When you're still making the climb. When you're not paying attention because nobody else is, because 217 people are watching the video. I'm grinding when you're sleeping. I did those 87s and 59s and 137s and 813 views day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, and continue to. You might make a video on somebody's video show that has 89 viewers, but one of those 89 viewers may be a producer at CNN or might be the CFO of a big company that you're trying to reach. And so undervaluing just that one view, it needs to be the right view, but it's one view, is a humongous mistake. It's about having the humility. It's about not saying no, even when you've made it. And the one is greater than zero concept is something I'm proud that I continue to execute on. So at 30, I started Wine Library TV. YouTube blows up. At 31, I'm on Conan O'Brien, Ellen. There's articles being written about me. Now they're writing that the business grew from $3 to $60 million in sales. I'm becoming this guy. I got so many goddamn emails from friends in high school during that period when I was showing up in all these magazines and TV shows. And every single one of them was like, hey, Gary, you remember me from high school? Oh my God, you're so lucky. I wrote back every single one of them and said, let me just clarify one thing. I'm not lucky. I worked. I worked every goddamn weekend and every holiday since I was 14 years old. So you can keep that luck shit in your pocket.
Care package awaiting orders.
Every day that I live my life, I get 5 to 27 emails from people that are telling me that they are quitting, or they should quit, or are really coming to me as a last resort to convince them not to quit, I think, a lot of times, or maybe give them confirmation that they should quit. Hey Gary, this is Sally. I've been doing my blog now for 9 months, and I'm not getting the results that I like to see, or that I was promised, or that you innuendo. Should I give up? Like, is my content not good enough? Is my voice not good enough? And I think about it every time I see these emails, every time people ask me at conferences, I think about it. I think about how sad I am that I wasn't documenting my life or putting out content or doing the Ask Gary Vee show during those 5.5 years of Wine Library TV. Especially those 18 months when nobody was watching. You know, the story that's never told is the story that I was building Wine Library to a huge company long before Wine Library TV, and that the first month that I did Wine Library TV was the first time that Wine Library had not grown 30% over the prior year's revenue. So not only did I have the patience to let it play itself out and win, it was a scenario where I was actually losing money by being patient. Many of the people that are gonna watch this video are not achieving what they want and are lacking the patience and think everything happens overnight. And that is coming at the cost of an unhappy life or no loss financially, just loss in time. Just coming at the expense of Angry Birds or House of Cards marathons or the bowling team, or hanging out with friends and having a beer, or reading a magazine, or whatever the hell gets you off and excited as a hobby. It's coming at that expense. It's not coming at the expense of actual money, or something, or pain, or, you know, it's coming at the expense of a luxury. And so to me, the insanity, really, and that's what I'm gonna, you know, the disproportional misunderstanding that there's not a person that you can name, not one. There is 0 people that you can name that had it happen overnight. Even the 9-year-old Stevie Wonder and 6-year-old Michael Jackson, there were years of work put in prior by their parents, by their uncles, even with the greatest talents, even with LeBron. He seemed like so young when he hit the scene. Guess what? He wasn't. He'd already been playing basketball for 15 goddamn years. Even though you all say to me like, wow, you did it. I didn't do it. I did it when I was 14 years old, and 15 years old, and 16 years old, and 17 years old, and 18 years old, and 19 years old, and 20 years old, and 21 years old, and 22 years old, which were all the years that every single weekend, while my friends went to the Jersey Shore and hooked up with girls, while my friends went fishing, while my friends hung out and threw around the football and lived the leisure life, every weekend, every single weekend. Let me just say it one more time. Every weekend, every day, from the day I got out of school to the day I went back into school, every vacation day, all of them, not a good amount of them, every day, from 7 a.m. to back then 8 p.m., every day, I was learning the wine business. I was honing my craft to be a good salesman. I was figuring out how to be an operator. I watched how my dad interacted with his employees, what I liked about it, what I didn't. I watched my cousin Bobby interact with the employees. I took what I liked from it, what I didn't. I was 30 years old before any of you ever saw me. Go show me the videos on YouTube right now that have me under 30. They don't exist. I was putting in the work for half my life, from 15 to 30, where I built an actual business. I put in actual work. And so if you want to tell me that every goddamn moment of my life between 15 and 30 is an overnight success, then knock yourself out. But that is complete bullshit, and every one of you know it. And so when you email me that you've started this thing, that you have the audacity to want it to be the rest of your life, the audacity, really the entitlement that you think that you should be able to do something that you love so much for the rest of your life, that makes you enough money to be able to do it for the rest of your life, that you're giving up after 4 months, that you're giving up after 2 years. As a matter of fact, every single person watching this video should be trying for that moment for the rest of their life, period. You might hit pay dirt at 80, and cool, then you can really do exactly what you love from 80 to 100. My friends, it is a gift. It is a gift to wake up in the morning and be able to do what you want for the rest of your life. The way you do that is by becoming a quote-unquote overnight success. You know, the excuse that everybody uses to deploy against somebody who's actually put in work for the last decade and got themselves into a position where they can do something pretty rad that we all think is cool and we all wish we could do. You know, that thing, the thing that you say to yourself to make yourself feel better about when you're laying in bed and playing a goddamn game on your phone instead of putting in the work to achieve what you want. Nothing in life is free. Nothing happens overnight. It all takes tons and tons of work and tons of talent and tons of serendipity. But my friends, luck, serendipity, there's a forced culture within that. You know, you don't just sit in your room hoping and then something lucky happens. Nobody just knocks on your house's door and says, congratulations, you've been awarded this. Luck comes from being in the right spot. I've been really lucky because I fucking bleed out of my eyes every day of my life and work my face off. You get really
Objectives met. Prep for evac.
Objectives complete.